Hello there, Internet. Thank you so much for joining me in this leg workout. It was taxing as always. And as always, I am starting with my Hatfield squats. What was this? This was 155 pounds for 12, then 165 pounds for a set of 10, and then finished off with one last set of 175 times 8. Still feeling good. Definitely getting hard though. And then I did my Bulgarians, 95 pounds for, I guess, two sets of 9. Also, those felt pretty good. The last couple sessions, I just felt like I was barely able to survive my Bulgarians, and this time they did feel a little bit more bearable, so that's always a good thing. And then I did 3 sets of my leg press. I believe I started with 235 pounds for a set of 12 maybe, then 240 for a set of 10, and then 245 for a set of 9. So that is also still feeling great. I love my leg press. I find it kind of addictive. I just love that feeling of pushing myself on that leg press, that like no fear pushing yourself. I love that. And then I did good mornings today. Also felt really good, like really light. So I did 130 pounds for a set of 10, and then 135 pounds for 2 sets of 8, and they just felt fantastic. So really happy with that. And then I just finished off with some leg extensions and that kind of stuff, so that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a pretty good session. I had the jitters beforehand. I just kind of get scared about my leg days because I know they're just going to be pretty unpleasant. So went into it a little bit jittery, but all in all, it was a great session. Now, I will say this leg workout, I haven't planned exactly when I'm posting this, so I'm not going to tell you what day it is today, but this leg workout is from Sunday. It's from Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day. And if anybody's watching me that is a mother, I feel like when I check my stats, it seems to be that 3% of my audience is female. So out of that 3%, if any of you are mothers, I wish more women would join me here. I don't know how to find you guys. But anyway, if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day, or happy belated Mother's Day, if that's a thing. Or if you love your mommy, even if you're not a mom yourself, hopefully you're out there and you love your mommy, or you love your wife, who is the mother of your children, whatever it may be. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. Again, sorry, belated Mother's Day. Feeling rather reflective on this Mother's Day, so this might be a little bit of a different thing. If you guys have watched my videos, this is going to be a bit of a different one. I don't usually talk that much about my experience as a mom. It honestly feels like, because it was like a lifetime ago, even that my son is going to be 20 this year, it just feels like my role as a mother, the real like hands-on mothery type stuff, it's a very, very different thing when your kid is 20, how it feels to be a mom, versus when he's 2, when he's 7, whatever. So it just feels like it was a lifetime ago. So I don't really talk about my experience that much. And I guess I don't even really talk about it at all, regardless of the stuff in the past or the stuff that happens now. I don't talk about it a lot. And so as a very different thing, I threw in, if you're at all interested, feel free. You can turn it off before then if you just don't want to hear about that crap at all and you're just here for the fitness. I get it. Not everybody here is here for just my life outside of the gym. But I did upload a few photos some of them look ancient. I uploaded a few photos of myself and my son, and just some things throughout. I found these old pictures on my old laptop that I didn't even know I could get into anymore. And I found these old pictures, and so I've uploaded a few for you guys here, just from like when my kid was young. At that time, I was also young. There was one from his first birthday. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it out if you do watch it. It's one from his first birthday. And so like at that age, I'm almost the age in that picture that he is now. And that kind of thing like blows my mind when I look at that kind of stuff, because I still remember those things. But it's like, he's almost 20. In those pictures, I was 21. So it's crazy sometimes to see stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, if you're at all interested, I uploaded some pictures there. But as you know, a side note, I guess, in sort of, what on the theme we're talking about, Mother's Day, how it was being a young mom, how it was or whatever. And I find myself looking at these photos and just thinking about it. I find myself feeling kind of sad about it at all, because it is really, a point when you get to a certain age, you kind of have to close the chapter on any of that ever being a part of your life ever again. Like, I obviously know, given that this August I'll be 40 and I'm still alone, so I obviously know that I will never be a mother to a young child ever again. And it's like, sometimes you just have to sort of mourn that certain phases and stages of your life are gone, never to return. And I didn't know it during these times. When you see these photos, that girl in those photos didn't know that never again in her future would she ever like have another child, hopefully with somebody that was loving and present and there, and just like that kind of experience. Like, I will never have that experience in my life. I will never know what it's like to raise a child with someone, and for it to like not be a bunch of drama and stress and like that sort of thing, just surrounding the whole situation of when it happened. I'm not saying that was all stress and drama as I was raising my son. I just mean, it's less than an ideal situation at the beginning. It was certainly quite life altering to be 19 or whatever and going through that experience. And I guess it's just sometimes when certain chapters of your life close, it can be a little bit hard to accept. There's a little bit of grief there that you do have to say, so long, okay, these things in my life never happened. I am never going to know what it's like to raise a kid as like a family unit. And another thing, I think, that point aside, I get sad thinking that I won't get to have a do-over, and that I won't know what it feels like to raise a kid, having the maturity to even really do so. Because, again, I was a very young mom, and I made a lot of mistakes. I mean, and I know that mothers are usually hard on themselves. They'll make mistakes at any age, and they beat themselves up. It's just, I think that just comes with being a mom. You beat yourself up, and you think everything you're doing is a mistake. But I definitely felt that my age was a huge factor. I didn't have great priorities throughout a lot of his childhood, and I wasn't very level-headed. I was very impulsive, and I had a lot of emotional problems, and I was often very, very depressed, and I struggled a lot with feelings of being rejected by like alcoholics, really shitty guys, and just being hurt by guys, and I guess being distracted by wrong things, and that it saddens me to think that I can't do any of that over, and that I will also never get an opportunity to ever do any of those and any of it better, or to know what it's like to just do it during a happier time of my life, like being a mom. Like, right now, I just feel like, oh, I could do such a better job right now. Like, if I could just somehow make my son 6 again, I know I could do better this time, because I'm older and I don't let crappy people in my life anymore. I make better decisions. I'm not so impulsive. I feel a lot more stable emotionally as well as just career wise. Like, I overall just feel so much better. I feel like now I have the right priorities, and now I could make better decisions, and now I could be more present, and now I could do a better job. And obviously I can't magically snap my fingers and have my son be 6 or 7 again so that I could just do it better and do right by him. I don't get any of those redos. And I guess it's just, when I look at, some of these things, I think, well, we had a lot of good times. But it does sadden me to some degree that I will never actually ever get to do it again, and I won't ever get to do it differently. And it's just that you have a certain image in your mind, or maybe you do, maybe you don't, of what your future life might be. And then when the future is here, you have to accept, no, it's nothing like this. I'm not going to have this little family life that I envisioned for myself. I'm not saying that I will definitely be alone for the rest of my life. There's just a pretty good possibility that I will likely never get married and be alone for my life. It just is likely. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be a pessimist, or I'm trying to put myself down, or I'm trying to be super negative. I know myself. I also know how hard it is in this day and age. I also know that I can't do dating apps, and just like, it just seems like, especially when I've literally been single my whole life, that I think it would be almost impossible to like welcome a person in my life, because I'm so regimented and with like my routine and all that kind of thing. It's like, it's a me thing. I'm not just saying, oh, it's a societal thing. It's everybody else. I know it's me. I know it's hugely me, and some external things as well that are outside of my control. A lot of things are in my control. It's just like, I still am in a place of accepting. It's like, it's probably not. And that there is just like that sadness there, that your life didn't turn out what you thought it would. And not that it's bad the way that it is, there are just certain things that I feel it sucks to have to accept are not happening, and that you have to say goodbye to them. And it sucks to feel like you have regrets. It sucks to feel like you wish you could have done better and you will not get that opportunity to do so. And as hard as I try now to rectify mistakes that I made, you can't, how much can you really fix aside from just trying to be, a good parent to somebody who's 20, to an adult? Being a parent to an adult, it's hard to be amazing at that, because lots of times they don't really need you that much for a lot of things. And I try to be there when he does, but it's nothing like what I could have done when he was younger, when he was a teenager. So here comes some of these random pictures if he stayed this long. So this is from his first birthday. We went to the zoo. So there I'm like 20. This is for his first birthday, so you can see there. I can't believe how young I am. This was Comic-Con. Obviously, we were Beauty and the Beast here. This was a random picture at the Pet Expo. It's kind of funny. This we stayed at Fantasyland Hotel and we're matching Minecraft shirts, so that's kind of cool. This is another year at Comic-Con. And oh, this was kindergarten, the Halloween party. And this was some fun times on a roller coaster that wasn't too scary. Slightly more recent. This was just maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that's us on some swings. And this is him. He's always been a pretty amazing kid. Bye, everybody.